Markle. Oh, hi. Hi. Look, you're a good-looking guy, right? Looks like you haven't been to the gym for a while. Look, you being up here now, I mean, Rhonda's fast asleep right now. Prepare yourself.
We were just so
You're about
lucky.
to be blown away.
Meghan Markle has a bad habit of mic snatching, and it all started with the cringe fest that was Kevin Costner's 1805 Live fundraiser back in 2023. Now fast forward to their latest appearance, Meghan finds herself sidelined as Harry signals her to hang back, but of course she refuses. She awkwardly struts up to the stage, pats Harry down like she's announcing her presence, giving him a jump scare,
Mark, Markle. Oh, hi. Hi.
only to shuffle back when no mic comes her way. This moment slipped under the radar, but it's way too embarrassing to ignore. Hey everyone and welcome back to Scandalous Media, it's Angela here, and as I've been saying, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are the gift that keeps on giving. Every public appearance feels like a comedy show, whether it's Harry struggling to draw a crowd, or Meghan getting shaded on her own show.
I don't watch basic cable.
This time around, Meghan awkwardly plants herself right in the middle of a stage Harry had clearly told her to stay off of, and the result was beyond embarrassing. It was a moment that could have been avoided, but she just couldn't help herself. This also tells us a lot about their dynamic, especially with how Meghan has sidelined Harry from all their big projects before. The podcast, the Netflix shows, even the brand, they all somehow became hers. And now, after a string of solo appearances, it seems like Harry might be returning the favor. Or is he? Stay tuned for my next video about Meghan's appearance at Paris Fashion Week, because as usual, it came with its fair share of secondhand embarrassment. Before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe for new videos, put those post notifications on so you don't miss the live chat premiere we do for every single video, and follow us on our social media. If you're listening on podcast form, please rate our show 5 stars as it helps us grow. And now, sit down, relax, and get ready to watch a hilarious show go down, as I'll also be discussing their Disneyland anniversary appearance later. The annual mic grab. Kevin Costner hosts and supports the annual 1805 Live fundraiser to benefit 1805, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting the Santa Barbara County first responders. Why are Harry and Meghan there? I don't know. Why do they do anything? I don't know. Let's not forget the disaster tour of the LA fires at the beginning of this year. Anyway, Harry and Meghan were introduced to the stage.
So we'd like to introduce tonight the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
But watch closely as Harry takes a second to walk to the stage and Meghan is out of frame here, which makes me feel like they discussed that only Harry will go on the stage, because look at this. Harry motions to Meghan with his hand to stay back, or like wait at least. So Harry walks up onto the stage alone and Meghan inches her way more into the frame, doing that little laugh-smile combo she always does when she's trying to look casual. But then, she decides to actually walk up and join him. As Harry starts speaking, Meghan does her usual thing, glancing around, smiling, and waving at people who don't seem to be waving back. She does it very awkwardly and almost like it's a force of habit. Harry starts talking, he seems happy not to share the spotlight or have his wife aggressively grab the mic from him like she did before. But here is my favorite part. Ready? He's talking, she comes and stands behind him for a split second, and then there's that claw right on his back to let him know she's here. He genuinely has a jump scare and says,
Chief Mark, Markle. Oh, hi. Chief Mark, thank you for...
Oh, hi, puts his hands on her back and then removes it to continue talking. She then awkwardly walks off the stage. Let's take a look at the full clip, shall we?
Hi, everybody. Chief Mark, Markle. Oh, hi. Chief Mark, thank you for giving the full context of peer support.
She hilariously stands almost directly behind Harry, and it makes me feel like she did that for the cameras to catch her, because obviously if Harry is talking, he's being photographed, and she wants to be at least in the background, if she's not going to be in the main shot. She lingers in the background for a minute, forces some small talk, takes a picture with a girl, and the second that flash goes off, she's out. No eye contact, no thanks, just gone. The smile completely drops here before she quietly slips to the other side. She's now watching Harry on the stage, which is how we got these photos. She's no longer directly behind him taking pics with random people or letting anything obscure the view of the perfect camera shot with the perfect smile. Like I said, they were both introduced up, so it's fair that she wanted to go on the stage, but it's the fact that Harry motioned for her to stay back, and despite that, she still came on the stage knowing damn well she doesn't have a role, which just proves she cannot resist inserting herself into the spotlight. If you watch the rest of the speech, which I'll get to in a moment, you'll see there was never a point where Meghan could have jumped in with her usual word salad wisdom. But she couldn't stand back and let Harry have his moment, not when she spent their whole brand treating him like a second-class citizen. Look at how her hand reaches for him mid-speech while he's completely unaware she's creeping up behind him like that. His face says it all here when he instinctively backs away from her and almost jumps away. She's just standing like a robot behind him with a smile that feels like she's gritting her teeth and silently saying, "Hand me the mic and nobody gets hurt." The way she's reaching for him here says it all. Harry's focused on his speech while Meghan's clearly hoping her presence alone is enough for someone to rush her a mic. And when she turns away, the mask slips, her jaw is clenched, her lips pinched into a stiff smile, every muscle in her face pulled so tight like she's holding back her real reaction. But Meghan might be smarter than we give her credit for. She knows the media isn't going to pick up on these subtle cues. Instead, what gets pushed is this glossy photo plastered on the front page of People magazine. We had to get the lovey-dovey photo somehow. A fresh joint shot for the press to use since Meghan's basically erased Harry from her brand, leaving him to deal with the messy, boring stuff like his never-ending court drama back in the UK over fake concerns of security. Meghan's Paris Fashion Week moment proves that all their security claims were fake, and honestly, it seems like just another attempt at embezzling money from taxpayers on both sides of the pond. But I'll leave what I have to say for the next video, so put those post notifications on so you don't miss it. And unless you actually find this video, which for some reason was really hard to find, you wouldn't know the truth about that interaction. All you see is a happy-looking couple giving us the perfect photos with Meghan's huge smile as Harry is talking, completely unaware that just moments before, she tried to take the stage and awkwardly walked away. Meghan spent the whole event laughing and grinning like her smile was glued in place, almost scared that if she relaxed for even a second, the cameras would capture her actual mood. Something about that smile is just so off-putting, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It's not the perfect white teeth or even Meghan's piercing eyes, it's the fact that it looks so forced. What do you think? Oprah was also at the event, but from what I saw, she seems to have dodged Meghan and Harry completely, as per usual. At their first appearance in 2023, Meghan stole the show, and every mic she could get her hands on. First, we saw this unfold when a woman was walking away with a mic and Meghan's already in front of Harry, seal clapping and literally leaping to snatch it from her. The woman doesn't budge as Harry stands there with a look of horror on his face. Meghan then places her hand on the woman's arm, trying to pretend that that awkward encounter didn't happen and acting as if she's delegating who the mic is going to with the woman. Tell me you don't have a job or role without telling me you don't have a job or role. But that wasn't enough to convince Harry or Meghan that she shouldn't have a mic, because here, the host hands the mic to Harry, who motions for him to give it to Meghan, and then the man awkwardly chuckles like, "Nah, not gonna do that." Fast forward to now, and Harry's running the non-profit, the Anti-Mic Initiative, dedicated to protecting audiences everywhere. But just because Harry was handed a mic doesn't mean he had much to say, or that he should have said anything at all. Harry's disaster of a speech. Harry's speech was, as always, painfully mid, and at this point, he might want to consider a public speaking course before trying to lecture everyone on issues he clearly doesn't grasp. After the firefighter gives his heartfelt message about how important it is to seek help and lean on peer support, Harry takes the mic with a deadpan face, pauses like he's about to drop some life-changing wisdom, and then says,
You don't need me to be the one to tell you that there's a lesson in that for all of us.
Really? The man just poured his heart out and Harry follows it up with a line that sounds like a Hallmark card. He seems out of things to say, then goes, "Did it feel like it was a weakness for you to go there?" Continuing his long-running bit about being seen as weak for emotions, which, let's be real, isn't why anyone sees him as weak. He adds,
I know the answer, but perhaps we can talk about it.
And the chief next to the firefighter is just like, okay. Basically, Harry's contribution boiled down to, I know, but you tell them. How inspirational. He then continues rambling about the value of speaking to someone who has had a similar experience as you, and that they're essentially not going to gossip about it later.
I think it's really important for everybody to know, for those that don't, the value of being able to speak to somebody that has had similar experiences, or at least is in the same line of work, so you're not having to translate those experiences. And the value of that, also the trust in them that this conversation doesn't go any further, and knowing that you can be handed off to someone else for the longer term support.
So by that logic, Harry, what is the reason behind the Parents Network that you and Meghan launched? You can't relate, and all you do is gossip for a living. Kinda like me. So maybe he can come edit a video or something. But seriously, what business do they have giving advice to parents whose children tragically took their own lives, if not to leverage their stories for their own exploitative agenda? An agenda that conveniently controls the narrative while the free press, the one actually asking questions, isn't exactly lining up to be their fan. Once it becomes clear he doesn't even know what he's saying, he awkwardly pivots to a joke about the dog sleeping.
Look, you being up here now, I mean, Rhonda's fast asleep right now. So we're gonna skip the part where I ask questions to Rhonda, okay? This is the sign of a very relaxed, happy dog.
But then he gets lost in a mid-ramble trying to make sense of his sentence.
But I think it's the fact oh, come guys.
And then calls the firefighter a good-looking guy.
Just you being here and you speaking, like, you're a good-looking guy, right? Not gonna deny, you're pretty stacked. It looks like you haven't been to the gym for a while. We talked backstage. There is a physical component to this. Of course there is. There's also, so where there's physical fitness, there needs to be mental fitness.
I'm sorry, I can't believe that's real. First he tells him he's a good-looking guy, then pivots to saying he looks like he hasn't been to the gym in a while, then stutters through some nonsense about a physical component, and finally he lands on, where there's physical fitness, there needs to be mental fitness. Fair enough, I guess, but the journey to that thought, painfully awkward. But it gets worse, guys, check it out.
By you standing up here, looking like you do, talking about what you're talking about, are you aware of what a difference that makes to anybody out there who's wearing a uniform?
What does that even mean? Looking like you do? I don't get why he's glazing this man's physical appearance and then somehow trying to link attractiveness to mental health.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say right now.
Are you an Instagram influencer from 2016 trying to sell me skinny tea? And then he hands him the mic like he just said some world-changing advice and can't wait to see what he's gonna get as a response. The firefighter is practically stunned, just laughing in disbelief. And then Harry motions him to do push-ups. The firefighter is probably like, man, I don't get paid enough to deal with rich brats. He tries to steer the conversation back on track, basically repeating what he's already said, since Harry hasn't asked anything truly worthy or worthwhile.
Yeah, and like we spoke about,
But when Harry gets the mic back, he seems to take a page out of Meghan's playbook, using any stage or mic as an opportunity to defend themselves. He rambles about how service is in your blood, even after taking off the uniform, essentially shading the royal family for stripping him of his military titles and not letting him wear his uniform at his father's coronation.
Those that wear the uniform, when they hang up the uniform, they still serve. You're a scout leader to your kids. Service is in your blood, you're doing it every single day, yeah.
My god, just take him off the stage already. Unless of course his purpose is to make me laugh, in which case bravo, mission accomplished, now cue the professionals. Harry's then asked to present the award to the chief who's retiring, but thankfully that doesn't require him to talk anymore, so we were saved that embarrassment. My whole thing is, if you're going to speak publicly, at least have something worthwhile to say. Or is he just on stage because of his status? If so, then I respect that, I guess. At least there's some media coverage since you have a high-profile person present. Sad that they're useless, but at least they're there? What do you guys think about Harry's speech and all the stuff he's been up to lately? The Monetized Disneyland Day. Continuing the tour of not belonging, Meghan and Harry were in the trailer for the Disneyland anniversary special. Everyone else included were people you would expect to be part of the trailer, but Meghan and Harry could truly only reflect on going there for Lily's birthday, or in Meghan's case, something she did 56 years ago.
One of my biggest experiences of Disneyland was going for grad night. grad night. It's all high school seniors. You go after hours. It's dark. I don't even know why they let us do that, but it was.
Harry tries to make a joke about how this is something they should do, but Meghan is too enthralled in her scene of talking about herself. She's glitching as he's speaking. It's so funny.
The best
sounds like a
because
lot of fun.
it's so much
That's something
fun.
I should probably do. Can you do that in your 40s?
It happens again here.
Prepare yourself.
We were just so
You're about
lucky.
to be blown away.
We were just so lucky. Girl, wrap it up. This is a minute-long trailer. Nobody got 6 hours to hear you talk about yourself. She's so unintentionally funny, like I cannot believe she's real.
You're about to be
How do you still manage to cut him off and make something about yourself in a 2-second cameo in a trailer? Petition to have Disney give me the uncut footage because I just know the eye-rolling Harry got in the seconds to follow probably beat the Parents Network cringe. Even the way she's smiling at Harry here looks forced, but it's clear she's been practicing her facial expressions as best as she can because we went from this when he's talking to this. More proof that she sees literally everything people are saying about her. They also talked about favorite rides at the park, which is Space Mountain.
Space Mountain was one of my favorite things.
Still one of your favorite rides, by the way.
You know, the ride they went on where Meghan practiced her best Diana impression. I feel bad for anyone who hasn't kept up with Meghan's lies because then you're missing out on her Diana cosplay and her obsession with her that somehow makes everything creepier than it is. And I'm actually going to talk about this more in the video about Meghan's appearance at Paris Fashion Week because I have a lot of receipts to uncover and remind you of and just a lot of things to say. So keep your post notifications on so you don't miss that video. But moving on to the topic of, once again, using the kids, we all remember when Lily got a whole Instagram reel and montage for her birthday. Something I covered in my post where a source spilled some inside tea about how Meghan reportedly uses Lily specifically. Well now, people are questioning if that whole outing was really just a genuine family moment or part of a big freebie designed to advertise and tie into this trailer. Like, what if it wasn't a sweet family day at all, but a scripted scene to monetize? Honestly, it's not that wild. How many times have we seen family vloggers stage funny, lighthearted moments with their kids only for the truth to come out as manipulation or worse? I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening with Harry and Meghan, but as I mentioned in my blog post and previous videos, Archie gets nothing. Just an Instagram post of his back, maybe being forced to garden to fit into Meghan's aesthetic. Meanwhile, Lily, she's getting a whole production. And guess who noticed? Archie. Take it from Meghan, who reflected on the day and said,
Watch that play out through our daughter's birthday. And Archie said, when's my birthday?
Well, that's kind of sad knowing the context. And she actually cracks me up trying to find any way to insert herself into the conversation and what she did in her childhood.
For us to be able to have our own childhood memories.
Let's end this video on 2 throwback embarrassing moments. Shout out to user revealing the narc for this clip. Here we have Meghan at the Wellchild Awards a couple of years ago, where literally the whole world left the stage while she lingered, clearly hoping for more camera time. She even starts clapping, and it's like, there's no possible way the memo wasn't received. Literally everyone, including Harry, is walking off the stage, and it's not like the audience is interacting with her, they're just sitting there staring. And now with Meghan at Paris Fashion Week, you can tell that she practiced how to control that glaring smile of hers that looks like she just wants to eat the cameras from how overjoyed she is at them. Here's another classic Meghan moment from back in the day, retelling the same story twice on the same day at the same event.
But I was saying as we were driving up, 2 blocks down the street is Paper Source. I used to teach gift wrapping classes there. I used to teach calligraphy classes there. And so to be here tonight.
And then again here.
2 blocks away is Paper Source where I used to work and teach. I used to teach gift wrapping class there. And now we're here and we drove around on our way and I was like, oh my God.
It's honestly peak rehearsed everything energy because nothing about this comes naturally to her. And that's okay. She just needs to make peace with the fact that we all see this and that's why nothing has worked for her. Well guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What other videos would you like to see next? Be sure to like and subscribe for new videos each week. Put those post notifications on, follow us on our social media, and as ever, I'll see you next time.